In 2003, I purchased my first ever software synthesizer from a relatively unknown and small company by the name of Hive. It had a super funky interface, and compared to today, I really didn't know how to use it, but all that I knew is that it sounded good, and the developer was super responsive and super open about his development process. Fast forward to today, and Hive has over 10 synthesizers in their product arsenal, but one of those synthesizers that I slept on for years was Hive. And to be honest with you, I have no idea why. But you know when you're trying to buy a new car and you start to see that car everywhere on the road? That's what happened to me. I started to see all my friends and everyone I knew use Hive too. I had to take the plunge and I had to give it a try. So in today's video, we're gonna take a quick look to see how I've started to use it in an ambient music context, so maybe you guys can pick up a couple tricks along the way or learn some things about the synthesizer that you never knew before, and so you guys can add it to your own ambient workflow, all right? So if you like this kind of video, make sure you smash that like button on the way in, subscribe to the channel if you guys feel called to do so, and be sure to check out my brand new community on Patreon, where I'm offering exclusive tutorials, presets, a full Patreon community, and so much more. Check it out in the link down below. So that being said, let's get into some Hive 2. All right, so here we are inside of Ableton Live 11. Now the goal with today's video is just to show you guys how I'm using Hive in an ambient music context, so you guys can use some of these techniques. Maybe you might learn something new and add it to your own ambient workflow, all right? So Hive 2 is an extremely powerful synthesizer. It's a Hive product through and through, and there's so many options when it comes to modulation that it almost boggles the mind in a way. So hopefully I can simplify some of these things for you, and you guys can start to use it in your own ambient productions, all right? So Hive has virtual analog capabilities as well as Wavetable, and we're gonna utilize the Wavetable capabilities because the Wavetable has some really great options, and it's like, it just sounds good. I don't know what it is about Hive, but you can debate me all you want about it, but Hive just has a really good sounding engine. And so what I've done is I've loaded some of the wavetables from Anomaly 2 inside of Hive already. So we're just gonna pick one at random here. And you have a position knob right here. Now you can move the position knob automatically just by hitting the loop button. You can do it all the way through, and then you can modulate position. So it avoids having to use an LFO for something that does the same thing. We're just going to turn that off for now and manually slide the position. So we can kind of get a feel of what these wavetables sound like. Let's pick another wavetable here. I want something with a little more grit. That's not bad, or we can try, there we go. That's pretty nice. All right, so what we're gonna do is use this wavetable and then come back up here to the oscillator section. Now you have full unison control, and it's worth noting that you can use the mouse scroll wheel on anything in Hive. So I'm just gonna make, I don't know, 5 voices here. And you can immediately hear the width and the oversampling of that beautiful wavetable oscillator. It sounds so nice. So then we're gonna just detune it a little bit. Perfect, and then come down here to the amp envelope and up the attack decay and leave the sustain where it is. Awesome. Now what's also cool is you have the ability to save your envelopes here in Hive. You can either save them as presets, or I could copy these envelopes and paste them over on oscillator number 2. So you can just kind of freely move these envelopes back and forth, which is a really nice handy feature to have. Awesome, and now what we're gonna do, let's start modulating the position slider on this wavetable by moving the position back over here, and then you have a tempo control, so I'm gonna lower the tempo to kind of give it that slow moving position that we're looking for. There we go. Nice. Excellent. So now let's adjust the filter, and we're going to pull the cutoff down and then switch this to low pass 12. Now in Hive, these buttons here dictate what part of the synthesizer is going through the filter. Now this isn't immediately obvious, so like why don't you hear the sub oscillator right away, even though the volume's at 100? You have to turn on the sub oscillator here going through the filter. So now we have that sub oscillator 1 going through the filter, and now you can actually hear it. So we can just scroll through and pick a nice sounding sub-oscillator. I like the triangle myself. I'm gonna pull that down just by a little bit. And it's already pre-set up with a -12 tuning. So it's already set up, we got octave below, which is nice. That's good, okay? And what's also cool is Hive has this unique vibrato knob here, which is basically another LFO that is controlling the vibrato or the tuning or the fine tuning of it. Now, over here, you might not know where if you set the vibrato, it's just gonna give you the classic pitch detune. However, coming over here and you hit the keys tab over here, you have a rate control, which is nice. So we can control the rate. And you can also delay it in. So if you want a slow moving, ever evolving, like kind of vibrato sound, you can do that. So it's gonna delay it that much more. And you can modulate this as well. So normally here on the channel, you guys see me, I'm using like aftertouch or something to modulate the fine-tuned pitch, but here you can just use vibrato and let it kick in, right? So we already have something that sounds really good and we haven't done much work. We just added a wavetable, we've added some unison, added some detuning. And speaking of aftertouch, what you can do here is we can just come down here to the mod matrix and say, all right, well, let's use pressure, which is aftertouch, and let's take this and see how this target shows up. This is the modulation target. We could target that to the detune. How much do we want? Just by a little bit. So when we lay in, we get that subtle detune. Nice. Let's turn this close to 0. Perfect. All right, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to add a second oscillator. Now the second oscillator, I'm going to turn on by hitting oscillator 2 over here in filter 2. And then now we have a completely separate oscillator that's also running in another filter. So our filters are now in parallel mode. I'm gonna turn this on to low pass 12, just like this. Give it a little resonance. And then we can change this to say another wavetable, come over here to wavetable 2, and then find another wavetable. Now this could be a fun exercise and exploration here. Let's see here. Overtone signs. That's just like the vital signs in Vital. That's kind of cool. Let's keep going. Ooh, phone stretcher. That could be fun. I really can't emphasize enough how good Hive's wavetables sound. I mean, they're just such high quality. So kudos to Urs and the team. This is a worthy contender. Love it. All right, cool. We can also modulate the position of this with a randomize. So we can do random, or we could use one of the LFOs. We could use random and then target that to the position here. So each time it goes through, each time I press a key, it's gonna be randomly picking a spot. That's kind of nice, right? So you get a different timbre every time you hit the keys. Or alternatively, we can also use the shape sequencer down here. So let's try that. Let's actually go and put this onto shape sequencer A. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of move everything up to the top here and then start randomly drawing in some shapes. Now you can see what this does. This is sort of like drawing in your own personal random algorithm, if you will. So I'm just gonna kind of move some of these curves here and like this. And now when we start playing, now our wavetable position is being cycled through this entire shape sequencer on the bottom, which is really cool. So it's almost like your own random algorithm that you can set here. And in the manual, they say that it gamifies the whole modulation thing. And it's really fun, actually, if you think about it. So this is shape sequencer lane A. And what we're gonna do is just lower the time to, like, I don't know, a whole note. Awesome. And now what we can do is take the target slider here and put that onto the cutoff and increase the amount. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, that's amazing. Excellent. Turn down the volume here. Oh, that's so cool. And remember, we haven't even added any effects yet, so we're just getting started. Very cool. So you can see the shape sequencer are moving through all those different shapes. It's extremely powerful when you think about what you could actually do with this. You could modulate anything at all inside of the synthesizer with that whole shape lane. You can line, you have 4 different shape lanes, so you could line up them all. You can do all different kinds of things. You could do a polyrhythm by adding some more points here. Set the timing is different. You can set the order to random, and so it could randomly cycle through all of these. So many different options. Nice. Very cool. It's also worth noting that Hive 2 comes with a modulation envelope knob as well as an LFO knob on the filter itself. So normally we'd add a filter envelope separately, but now inside of Hive, you have a modulation envelope knob here. So you can just add some of the mod envelope here, add some attack, just like this. So you can hear the filters opening and closing with the modulation envelope knob, with the modulation envelope curve that we've already set. That's a really nice feature to have. We can also set the target for the filter cutoff from the aftertouch pressure. So now you can hear when I lay in the keys, you get a little more filter opening happening. Very nice. Just a subtle amount, that's all you need. Excellent. Hive 2 also has these really cool function generators. So function generators are basically like extra LFOs and envelopes that you can use down here to do a variety of things in the synthesizer. That's one of the reasons why Hive 2 is such a modulation monster, all right? So what we're gonna do is assign one of these function generators to do something. So what I'm gonna do is come down here to the mod matrix and say function 1 envelope. I'm gonna assign that, which is basically just an attack and a decay envelope. I'm gonna assign that to say the resonance of filter number 1. So when this is triggered by LFO1, which I've set to random hold here, you can see that the resonance of that filter is gonna go up and down. Check it out. See, we're getting those spikes in resonance. If you lower the decay here, they're gonna become more often. There we go. Set the time base to something like 1/1. So you get these random spikes of resonance coming out. Set it even faster. Oh, that's too cool. Oh my goodness. Right, so it's almost like spitting out these randomized values, and then you can set those to whatever you want. Happy accidents, Hive is full of them. Oh my goodness. How would this sound through effects? Let's find out. So we're gonna turn on the effects here, turn on the power to the effects, and just turn on a simple compressor. Maybe lower the amount down a little bit. There we go. Let's add a delay, a ping pong delay. Classic ping pong. Add some feedback. Tons of width. There we go. finally, reverb. So let's add some reverb here. Nice size decay, increase the size, which is making it more of a hall. Fully up that width and some mix, and now let's listen to what we got. Oh my goodness. Wow. We have barely even scratched the surface here. And I mean that in the most sincere way possible. Hive 2 is so powerful. When it comes to modulation, if you can dream it, you can probably build it in Hive. So many different options available. We left so much stuff open-ended too. We didn't even touch some of the effects in here. We didn't even touch the sequencer or the ARP. I mean, there's just like, it's endless. It really is. I'm so excited about the future with the synthesizer, and man, there's just no end to this. I mean, it really is one of the greatest synths that I've used in a really long time, and I'm super excited to see where I can go with it next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you guys got some of your favorite ways to use Hive 2 in ambient music, let me know in the comments down below. Love hearing from you guys. As always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. My name is Chris from Signs of Life. Thank you again for watching. Take good care, and we'll see you guys in the next one.